We had like Lil Yachty send us like videos of him like eating it, and like G-Eazy.
Can you make a rap song about our candy?
I have a video from Lil Yachty I can show you, and it's like he's like eating it, and he's asked his friend, he's like, "You think it's good?" And he's like, "Yeah, I want to put it in a booty and eat it with a spoon."
And welcome back to more information here on the camera.
And make sure you subscribe and hit the bell, even though you don't know what this video is about.
Just do it for us.
They don't watch them in order, you don't think?
No, we don't upload them in order, so it's really not their fault.
Why do you not do that?
We play content roulette with our guests.
You're gonna see part 3 of the second half of the second guest.
It's like a prequel.
Yeah.
It's at random.
So we started off like, welcome back, Maxx Chewning, but this will come out first. But we are here with Maxx Chewning today, everybody.
Founder and owner of Sour Strips, baby.
Yeah, we just dived into an incredibly inspiring story of grit, of a little bit of luck maybe, of great COVID times, and then also of just like really just the cool passion of being like, I really love candy.
Wow. Feels good.
Therefore, I'm going to make some candy for me, but then that turned into a wonderful story, and then we eventually got into places like Target, Walmart.
They do sell it there.
You sell it at Walnut and 7-Elevens. I don't know. But before we again get to the Hershey buying you out type situation, like to you, what was like the first mini but major success where you're like, I could really do this?
I mean, when I launched the brand, I was like, okay, we have to sell out immediately at launch or it's gonna be a flop. So that was the first taste of the glory, right? So we launched with like 20,000 units, sold out in like an hour, and I was like,
what? And this is all online sales?
All online. And then we launched a month later with 20,000 units and sold out in 30 minutes. Then we launched 20,000 units a month later, and then it started getting a little slow. It was like 3 hours, and then it was like 5 hours, and it was like a day. And so then
where did you get the 20,000 number? Was that based off your clothing numbers, or?
It was 20,000 units, and then broken down by like, okay, I'm gonna sell them in 3 packs or 4 packs. So I knew I wanted to have like X amount of thousand of orders. So let's have, I don't even know, it was like 3,000 orders or something. Like let's have enough for 3,000 orders, which I based on like, okay, when you do a crazy launch with the clothing, I have a couple thousand orders, so that'd be like appropriate. But it was like unknown. So the online success was the first indicator. But then when we started getting into like the random one gas station here, and because people would hit us up, be like, hey, I see your brand online, I own a gas station, I want to bring it in. And with the power of social media, is kind of like, hey guys, if you're in California and you're near this location, like go here, go, and like it'd be like, oh my god, like the first day we sold like all 100 bags we had in the store. So
that's cool.
But it was like that was like the power of social, but it needed to have that like consistent sales. Like that's cool, you can sell out right there, but can it happen like 6 months later? So when we launched into H-E-B, Target, Walmart, which was like our first, the behemoths, and then like how fortunate are you to go into like those as your first like major retailers. But like as soon as we launched into Target, I made this whole campaign about it, and I was like, all right guys, like it's us against the big guys, like we gotta do it. So
who was the big guys to you at that time?
I mean, it was like the Hershey's and all the main brands. Yeah, I mean it's everyone. Yeah. I mean, as a candy enthusiast, I'm like, when you go down a candy aisle and you're like really like sour candy, you see the same brands every single time. When there's a new brand, you notice it because it's not like energy drinks and stuff like these days where every day there's like 50 new brands. Or with candy, there aren't these new players all the time. So when you see something new, and it's usually by like one of the big boys, just like an extension, you try it, and then most of the time for me, I'm like kind of disappointed. I was like, I don't know what you're expecting, but you're like, it's okay. So I knew that people, if they saw a new candy, us being Sour Strips, like I knew that they would try it if there's someone like me who just likes sour candy, because it's not every day there's something new, and if there's something new and it looks like a legit brand, not like a gas station brand where it's like clear bag, stapled, little foldy bag, which like those candies are good, but again, it's like, I was like, I'm trying to make a real candy brand. So I knew people would try it. I knew if they tried it, I was like, I'm betting that they'll like it. So, and once you like it, I know that they'll keep coming back, because I know that you can't get something very similar to this in all these mainstream stores, because I would know that it's there, because I love candy and I look at every single store. So I kind of just use my like knowledge of sour candy to know like kind of how people would think. So when we launched into Target, it was just like off to the races from there. And so we crushed it on there, started being like a top selling candy, and because we only launched with like, I think we launched with like 2 or 3 flavors out of the gate, but now we have like, by the end of this year, we'll have like 12 flavors in Target. We're gonna be like in different locations in the store.
12 different SKUs in Target.
Yeah, which is so. And here's the most interesting thing:
SKUs.
when you go from like, so there's like resets in like food. So every time you go down an aisle, like maybe like once or twice a year, depending on the category, they'll have these like resets where they take out lower performing items and put in other performing items, or add other like facings, they'll call, like more placements of the same candy if it's doing really well. So when we go from 2 items, 2 flavors to even 3 or 4, those extra 1 or 2 flavors, like someone else had to get removed for that to happen.
Yeah.
So you start like stealing shelf space from these bigger brands. So that's when the bigger companies really start like noticing, because it's kind of like, hey, we're actually going to remove this flavor and this flavor from you guys. But then they go into the store and they realize that it's replaced by this sour strips, and then it's kind of like, oh, who is this sour strip? So that was the biggest kind of like cool factor to me as like a little guy who been obsessed with candy his whole life, that I'm like actually starting to impact these big brands that I've been eating for decades, but now I'm like doing better than them in the same
Crazy.
maybe not, I'm definitely not as a whole company of like their distribution, but like, hey, in Target, because everyone gets the same kind of report of this, there's this like reporting data company called Spins, where like all these companies can like get the same data of what products are selling, what's selling the best, what flavors, and this is across all categories. So every company gets the same data that they can see of who's selling what, how much. So when I get the report, it's like, Max, you're a top 3 candy in Target, and you see all the other ones. I was like, everyone's getting that same report, and these bigger other companies are probably like who is this sour strips? Like, what is that?
Wow.
So that was like the cool thing, because I was like, I'm actually like really starting to claw my way up in a small way, and then it's just scaling from there.
Cool, man.
What was how much money was your first order to stock like the fucking 1,300 Targets or whatever?
Shoot, man. I mean, a couple $100,000 for sure.
Was it a nationwide order, or did they do it regionally first?
So the original one was going to be like 300 kind of regionally, but 1,300, you're pretty much, when they do the 1,300, they're putting you in like the 1,300 of their 2,000, like the 1,300 biggest stores of those 2,000. Right. So maybe you're not going to go into, I'm from like kind of near DC, and in DC they have these like really small Targets that are in a shopping center type of thing. Like maybe you're not going to go into those smaller footprints. They're going to put you in the major stores to really see what the brand can do.
That is pretty much nationwide then.
Yeah, we were in like pretty much every state that had a Target. Like if you have a big Target in your city, like we're probably going to be in it, because we're in like 70% of the stores. So it was a really good opportunity for me to kind of like foghorn to my my followers to like, hey, we're at Target, like let's go crush this. And the sales started really strong, but then after that it started like continuing to pick up. And while I was getting great views at the time and still do well on social, like the numbers we're selling of candy eclipse like what my following. So I knew early on that I needed sour strips to like become bigger than me at like a crazy scale. Like I can't be the face of it. I don't want my face on the packaging. I don't want me as the promotion. I don't want to put founded by Maxx Chewning in the bio. Like I need it to be its own like entity. So so then it's like month over month we kept holding this top spot, and
nice.
We're 4 years into Target, and we're still like top 3 candy like in the entire like sugar category.
So once it took off from being beyond your fan base, like did you do anything for marketing or anything else, or it was just all organic from people coming in and I like this product and then they just keep buying it at Target?
So we leveraged social media like better than I think any other candy brand at the time did. It's kind of like I just leveraged like the influencer thing, and one of the strategies I had early on was like, okay, we just need to almost give this product, we just need to saturate the world with sour strips, right? Like if I can afford to just almost like give it away for free, whether it be giveaways, promotions, influencers, like let's do it at such a scale, because while it's not pennies to make the candy, it's not, an $8 t-shirt I'm making, right? So I can afford to spend on marketing by just giving the product away, because I look at it as the more people that see the bag, taste it, like the more people that are going to fall in love with it. And you never know like who those people know, because it's like these buyers for stores also like they're just kind of random people, right? So you never know whose aunt's friend is the candy buyer at 7-Eleven or something, right? You have no idea. So we started, even to this day, we started sending out these little promo influencer boxes, and we sent out probably like, we would do like 10 to 12 new influencers every single day for years. Like, so just a dramatic amount. Because I look at it as, I'm like, anyone who has a following of any sort, it doesn't matter what, you could be a beauty guru, a fitness, a golf person, it didn't matter to me. Like a mommy vlogger, like all these different audience, like let's just give the candy away. Like just give it, because then as we continue to scale into stores, people who follow these random bloggers, fitness influencers, whatever, are gonna be like, oh, that's the thing I saw in their store. That's the stuff I see blowing up on TikTok. So we just leveraged like social media like at a big scale, because the other companies, they don't really, they'll do the commercial here and there, they'll do these billboards, but like they don't really need, like everyone knows what Coca-Cola is, right? Like they don't, like they do marketing, they don't really need to do marketing, everyone knows what it is. Yeah. So we had this opportunity where like no one was really going heavy on social. Like yes, all these brands have social platforms, but they're not like following the trends and doing the memes and like leaning into stuff. They can't, if they want to hop on a trend right after, they're probably worried with like legal is like, well, we technically can't use that sound because our legal department says that we would need the rights to that, or we can't do this. That's a little like too not PC enough. But I was just like, fuck it, let's just do anything and everything. If it's goofy, if it's out of left field, just like trends, like hop on it like immediately. Because I was like, I knew that there was a small window that I needed to capture, because it was only a matter of time before copycats started coming out of like, oh, this guy with not a big following started this, like, oh, me too, I can do this. Because when I started, without knowing, like, nowadays, a lot of big influencers you see come out with products. A lot of them are food, a lot of them are drinks, a lot of them are products of some sort. But like, when I started it, like, there wasn't that many people doing it. So I kind of got, just like with YouTube, like, I kind of got in at the early enough time that I was able to like create a name for myself before it kind of got oversaturated. I wasn't the first probably influencer to start a CPG by far, maybe in the candy space, but I was early enough that gave me enough of a head start that it allowed me to kind of fuel the brand. So if anyone maybe was trying to copy us or kind of get after us, they're trying to chase us, right?
3 steps behind.
Yeah, like we're the forefront. And as someone who bootstrapped it and started itself and did all the work himself with his team of, I'm installing the racks with my team. I'm like touring the warehouses. Like I'm figuring out the logistics of it. So I knew the work and the capital and the money that to be able to get to our scale. So I was like, if anyone wants to copy us, like they're in a world of hurt to like think that this is like an overnight type of thing, because I know how much, like literal blood, sweat, and tears like goes into a business like this, and even just the cost. I was like, if you don't, unless you're going to put in a ton of money or have that crazy growth online out of the gate like we did for the first year, you're going to need investors. You're going to start diluting your brand. So I just like put out the noise and just like laser focused on growth.
That's cool.
That's freaking incredible.
Sold a lot of candy.
Like I remember when I visited you in Houston, you were telling me like the care package person, they're shipping out to 10 new people a day, and they would keep spreadsheets so there's no redundancy. So by the time it's 30 days, that's already 300 unique people. So by the end of the year, that's 365 times 10.
That's so many influencers.
We would like, we would, what we learned is like because if, as an influencer, like if you get hit up by a random product, right? Like generally, you're like, okay, like, oh, I'd love to promote this. Maybe like, here's my rate, here's all these things. But I asked myself, I was like, like when like an ice cream company hits me up and they're like, we'd love to send you some. I'm like, heck yeah, send it to me and I'll like promote it for free because I'm like, it's food. Yeah. And I was like, I feel like with candy, like people aren't going to ask for money for this. It's just going to be like, it's cool, I like candy. So what we did is I did it for like a while. Then I hired this girl, Callie, who's now the head of marketing. Was like, hey, just DM people all day, and the first line is like, hey, like sour candy. And I was like, I knew people would like be interested enough. It comes from a Sour Strips account. Hey, like sour candy. I was like, influencers will probably open this. And then it's like, we'd love to send you a thing, a box. And it's like, hey, we're not asking for anything, just enjoy it. Like we weren't like, if you like it, tag us. It was just like, enjoy it. And I was like, I bet that they'll just post us regardless, right? And what the strategy ended up being is we'd reach out, send it for free, not ask for anything at all, and one of two things would happen. They would either tag us, and that'd be great. We'd get more, and then other influencers would start, hey, I saw you on this. I'd love some candy. But then a lot of times they would hit us back up and be like, hey, I loved it. Like, can you send me some more? And that's when we'd be like, we'd love to. Like, would you mind just tagging us on your story? And we do like a little little emoji kind of thing, like like little crying eyes. And it's like, would you mind like just tagging us on a story? And 9 times out of 10, it's like, yup. And even if we reached out to like, hey, would you like some candy? And they're like, here's my rate. And we're like, hey, actually at this time we're not doing any rates. 100% of the time they'll go, I'll do it for free. Like, just send it to me.
Yeah.
So they would ask for it again. That's when we would ask for like a tag on a story. Super simple. 9 times out of 10, they actually did it. And then if they hit us up like again, one more time, we'd go, hey, if you'd like, we can actually put you on this reoccurring like monthly. We'll send it to you every month, and you just tag us in your story one time, like one time a month, and we'll send you candy every single month. So we started building up this list of like 300-400 people a month that were on reoccurring that would just tag us all the time, and we're still sending out to like 10 plus people a day. And then Callie would have spreadsheets of, let's hit up all of these sports. Here's every football team, and let's go through every player of every team.
That's awesome.
And then we started going down like just left field. I was like,
So here's my Instagram.
I wish more
dope.
companies knew that, like, when you're a creator, you just have a flood of people just trying to give you free product. So when they want to like send you free product, but they also want to like have a whole list of deliverables of like, please do this and then tag. It's like,
On the first
we'd love to send you a 12-pack of our drinks, but if you could just make a reel about it, it's like, what?
Yeah.
So I kind of like knew how,
as a creator,
because that's
it's
happening to you.
Yeah.
I knew how a self-centered, like, influencers who think we should get, $100,000 to tag on our story or something. But like, I was like, I kind of know how people think. So I was like, I think if it's food, they won't ask for anything, and they'll just, because I do that.
100%.
I'd get hit up, like, I use ice cream as an example. When I get a dry ice full of thing of a bunch of little pints of ice cream, like, I tag it every time, no problem, because I'm like, it's food. But if I get hit up by like a toothbrush company, I'm gonna be like, yep, here's my rate. I'd love to know your thing.
It's like, why would I
Because
promote
it's
it?
candy. Candy's so easy to integrate. Like, candy doesn't make you look like you're doing a thing.
And I made sure to like send it all from like the Sour Strips account. I was like, don't send it from me, even though I have a bigger following, because I was like, I feel like if influencers know it's coming from an influencer, they're gonna be like, this guy, like, I'm not gonna let
Changes
you.
the dynamic.
If they see a face,
So we started sending these big names like out of the gate, and we've sent it to celebrities, athletes, like rapper. We had like Lil Yachty send us like videos of him like eating it, like G-Eazy, and and it's like all these people, and then it just started from there, and it just snowballed.
Can you make a rap song about our candy?
No bad words though. Our legal team wouldn't like.
We're not doing rates at this time.
I have a video from Lil Yachty I can show you, and it's like he's like eating it, and he's asked his friend, he's like, "You think it's good?" And he's like, yeah, I want to put it in a bitch's booty and eat it with a spoon. And then he's like, like literally his friend's eating that while he's eating it.
Fucking tight.
Sales went through the roof.
Yeah, and Lil Yachty just sends it to us.
That's hilarious.
But last thing I'll say is a lot of times you think that you'd pay someone and you'd have these like crazy conversions. We would get tagged on Instagram by these big, with millions of followers, like really relevant celebrities or influencers, and you would think, be like, oh, let's go check the Shopify, I'm sure it like spiked. Like our Instagram barely moved, no spike in sales, so it goes to show, like, and imagine if you paid someone.
The turnover rate's crazy.
For sure.
Yeah, you never know, and then I'm like, I wonder if brands have made a bunch of money from me, or just been like, man, this Maxx Chewning guy didn't give us any sales, man, at all.
Yeah,
I actually think
happen,
brands don't care about conversion. Well, it depends on their strategy. And then the quality, because they want to just show off. The marketing department wants to be like, look at how fucking sick this video is, or whatever. But I've noticed the same thing too with micro influencers. They're actually the best, because not only are they excited because they feel like, oh fuck, I'm recognized, I'm actually getting to this place where people want to sponsor me, but I think their following is way more diehard.
Yeah.
Because like
They want them to keep going up.
Exactly. It's like 8,000 followers, but they're there for them, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like it could be 2 million followers, but that's diluted by a lot of people casually following because they're already popular.
And you reach out to these 2 million followers, and they're like, yep, here's the email to my agent. My agent will have to talk to you and all these things. But no, our biggest success was probably in DMing influencers between like 10 and like 50,000 followers on like Instagram. Awesome. And that was like, we just hammered, because like you can find all day, you can find people with these followings. And I was like, all right, Callie, just check their following if they have this many, but then go to like one of the recent posts, make sure they have at least like 15 comments that aren't just like slay, fire emoji, like, it's like make sure they get, I had like random thresholds. I was like, okay, if they have like 10,000 followers, they need at least be getting like 400 likes, and like look at their comments, make sure they're real people, and they need to get at least like 15 comments. Like there was these little thresholds where like that they were kind of like legit or not. And even to this day, it's been like our strategy, and I openly say this because I'm like, this is what people need to be doing if you are in a space where you can afford. Because if you give it away for free at scale, people will eventually, then the people that got it are going to see it in Target, see other flavors that you have, start buying it, and it's like a snowball effect.
Because I had a social media manager, and he was just doing nothing but OnlyFans girls, and I was like, that's not going to work, bro. Like,
it makes sense for you, though.
Yeah, it makes sense for you.
For our products, matcha?
Oh, I thought it was just the Joe Jitsukawa account.
Oh.
Yeah, your product though, man. It's the fact that it's good.
I love that we can stretch this out because of how interesting this story actually is, and we still haven't gone to Hershey yet. But
That's the next episode.
Part 3, which is gonna get uploaded first.
Yeah, I feel like, so Max, we've learned your whole story.
Hit the like
Tell us at the
button,
end.
and then maybe we'll tell you on the 9th video.
If you're lucky.